Welcome to another video tutorial from dacanane.com. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create an Ein Stein tile, commonly referred to as the hat tile, and I will do this using the Corelvector tool. In order to be successful in this task, I will use the following tools: the isometric grid tool, the snap to grid tool, the pen tool, the select tool, the opacity tool, the flip vertical tool, the rotation tool. So let's get right into it. First of all, I will need to create a new document. I'm going to make mine quite large so that the final tile will be large enough for me to accurately cut around when I print it off. I'm going to make my document 1000 pixels wide and high. Once I've created my document, I first want to set the opacity of the document to 0. To do this, I need to ensure that no other tool has been activated. To check, I am going to click on the blank canvas. Now I can check over on the right of the screen here at the top. Here I can see the height and width dimensions of the document I have just set, and to the right of this is the opacity. By default it is set to 100%. I am simply going to change the value to 0 and press return. Once I have done this, the document should go from white to a checkerboard look. Next, I need to set up the isometric grid. To do this, I need to remain on the right of the screen, but focus on the bottom left-hand option. I need to check the isometric option here. Once the isometric option has been chosen, other options become visible, and we need to look at these too. The only option that I want to change is the size option. I'm going to change mine to 60. This will make my grid easier to see as I create the hexagon and diamond I will need to make my Ein Stein tile. Now that the tile size has been set, the next option I need to ensure has been set up is the snap to grid option. To do this, I need to move to the toolbar at the top of the document. To the left of the toolbar is a magnet icon. Currently it is not black, which means the snapping option has not been activated. Using the snapping option will make my hexagon as accurate as possible because the software will snap each corner point to the exact junction on the grid. Once I have clicked on the icon and it goes black, the snapping function has been turned on. Now it is time for me to start to create my hexagon. Before I start, I need to think about the dimensions of my hexagon. I'm going to use the hexagon as a template to allow me to create the 1/3 hexagon or diamond that I need to create in order to make the Ein Stein tile. This means that I need to be able to find the halfway point on 2 of the sides of the hexagon. In order to do this accurately, I will use the snapping feature. Therefore, each side of my template hexagon needs to be an even number of grid tiles long. For my hexagon, I am going to make each side 4 grid tiles long. To draw my hexagon, I'm going to use the pen tool. To locate the pen tool, it is 2 tools to the right of the snapping tool. To activate it, just like the snapping tool, I simply click on it. For this activity, I am not concerned with the fill and line color of the hexagon. It is simply a template. Starting at the apex, I'm going to click on the grid where I want my hexagon to start, then count 4 grid tiles down to the right, then click to locate the next vertex, and so on, until my hexagon is complete. Now that my template hexagon has been completed, I can now lock it in place. Over on the left of the screen, there has been created a path layer. If I roll my mouse over the right of the layer, 2 options become visible, the padlock and the eye. I will click on the padlock to lock the hexagon. Next, I want to create my diamond, but first I want to set the fill color of my new shape. Over on the right of the screen, there is the fill option. If it is not visible, make sure that the pen tool is active, then click on the fill, circular palette icon, and select the color you want. The color does not matter, so long as it is different from the hexagon on the locked layer. Before I start to create my diamond, I want to just check that both the snapping tool and the pen tool are active. They are, so now I can continue. I'm going to start at the midpoint of the top right side of the template hexagon. This is where the importance of ensuring the length of each side of the hexagon was an even number of grid spaces becomes apparent. I am now going to work my way clockwise around my diamond shape, clicking on the next 2 vertices, the second halfway point of the bottom right-hand side, the center of the hexagon, and closing the diamond shape by clicking on the start point. I have now created my diamond, my 1/3 hexagon shape. Before proceeding to make the Ein Stein tile, I want to hide the hexagon template. This time I will click on the eye icon on its layer to hide it. First of all, I want to orient this shape as it is currently on its side. I'm going to select the shape. To select the shape, I need to use the select tool, which sits between the snapping and pen tools and is active when the arrow goes black. To select any object, I just have to click on it until it is bounded by a blue border. I want to rotate the diamond. The rotate tool is on the right of the screen and is called angle. I want this shape to turn 90 degrees, so I simply type in 90. We are now ready to construct our hat tile. Next, I want to turn off the snapping tool so that I can move my diamond shapes around the document easily. We know that the Ein Stein tile is made up from 4 of these diamond shapes. Therefore, I need to make 3 copies of this shape. Using the keyboard shortcut key Ctrl+C and then pressing Ctrl+V 3 times, I end up with 4 copies of the diamond. I am now going to use the Select tool to move the 4 diamonds around my workspace so that I can see them. I want to change the fill color of each shape to make it easy for me to align them up in a moment. To do this, I will select each diamond in turn, then select a different color from the palette picker. It does not matter which colors I use, the difference is to help me align the diamonds in a moment. It is now time to align these 4 shapes into one Ein Stein tile. This will be done by using the Flip Vertical tool and the Rotate tool. To start, I am going to arrange the bottom 2 diamonds as they are a reflection of each other. The diamond to the right is the one that I want to flip. Click on this diamond and then click on the vertical flip tool on the toolbar to flip it. I now want to align the 2 diamonds tip to tip like this. It is really important at this stage to ensure that my alignment is very accurate at this stage, as it will mean that my template, when I print it off, will tessellate accurately. I am now going to align the top left diamond. This shape has to be rotated -30 degrees. Again, I use the angle box to set this value and press return. Once it has flipped, I have to accurately align the bottom vertex of this diamond with the top right vertex of the left-hand bottom diamond. Again, I'm going to take care to ensure that the alignment is as accurate as possible. I do not want any gaps. We are almost there, just 1 diamond to move. For this final diamond, I need to set the angle value to 150 degrees. When it has been rotated, I can use the other 2 diamonds to help me align up this last diamond. If there are any tweaks to the overall alignment I need to make, I will make these now before I export the hat tile for printing off as my template. I am happy with this. I have created an Ein Stein hat tile from 4 diamond shapes. I want to keep this file for future use, so I will save it to my cloud account and then export it as a .png file to my computer.